Hi there, Simon from simonwoods.com here. I have 5 Chardonnays today, 3 from France, 2 from the other side of the world, one an Aussie and a New Zealander. First one, Chablis, 2008 Chablis from Louis Moro, one of the big names. I think it's a négociant. Don't know whether they've got any of their own vineyards, blah blah blah. 10 quid Marks and Spencer's. Let's give it a whirl. Yes, Chablis is the Chardonnay at its crispest and leanest, and what I'm getting here is it's that essence of freshness. Sometimes Chardonnay can be on the big voluptuous side, and I think we'll get onto that with the last 2 wine, but at the opposite end of the ripeness spectrum, it's clean and it's keen, and here what you're getting is green apples, bit of lemon, ever so slight sherbet edge, and some of this slightly nutty edge that Chablis can get. Sometimes Chablis goes into a wet wool edge, so I don't get too much of that here. But it smells like it's going to be lean and keen. And that's what it is. Maybe just a bit too lean and keen. I noticed the sharpness. I noticed that really fresh, zingy green apple acidity. Normally, in a good Chablis, you've got a little bit of body to fight against with that. Haven't really got too much of that there. So, okay, but not great. A core of something missing there. Let's see whether we do better on the other end of Burgundy. Chablis at the top end. Macon is at the bottom end. So this is Louis Latour Macon Looney 2009, 9 quid. Yeah, it smells. It's going to be a richer, fuller-bodied wine. There's a slight. It's almost like I want something halfway between them. I want some of the creamy edge that you've got in the Louis Latour with some of that keenness that you've got in the Louis Moro. Yeah, it's got this ever so slightly hazelnut and peach edge. It's almost like someone has said there's a bit of Viognier in there. It's got some of that slightly exotic character. I'm going to do something now which. You can try at home. I'm going to put a bit of Chablis in there and just see what the two are like together. I actually prefer the blend to the wines by themselves, because you've got a bit of that fatter, fleshier, peachier fruit of the Macon with the with the structure and the acidity and freshness of the Chablis. So yeah, maybe I should get a job as a blender rather than a wine. Inspire or whatever I call myself this week. Anyway, Marquis de Putte Chardonnay, Van de Peydoc, I think it is, yeah. And again, same price, 9 quid. And the first thing I notice about this is the colour. It's a lot deeper, it's a lot more golden in colour. It seems to, something like that, when you see deeper colours, it tends to mean that the fruit's been grown in a warmer region. So yes, whereas the Mâconnais is the warmest bit of Burgundy, the south of France, the Languedoc, is warmer still. But this has been grown at quite high altitude, so you're going to get the sun there, but hopefully it's still going to have some freshness. And first thing I noticed, well, 2 things. I noticed a really bigger, weightier, fruitier wine, but also the impact of new oak. It feels like it's been fermented and aged in new oak barrels. If anything, it's almost like they've overdone the new oak bit. I'd have preferred it if they'd left it in slightly older oak for a bit longer to calm down some of those fruit flavours and get rid of that ever so slightly sawdusty wood edge. I mean, it's a big mouth-filling wine. Juicy, oily, peachy, not exactly subtle. What makes it, you can tell that it's French as opposed to maybe a New World style that is on that big, oaky, ripe, fruity style. I think it's acidity. You're getting this cleaner finish here and a cleaner, fresher finish. And I like that, but I would just wish they'd have reined in the oak a little bit. It's that weird thing about sometimes you leave a wine in a barrel for 6 months and it's more oaky than if you leave it in there for like 12 months. Because like the first few months the wine's in barrel, it takes up all the oak flavour. Then the next few months it sort of mellows and relaxes, and that oak flavour integrates a bit better with the rest of the wine. Wish they'd left that in, older oak for a bit longer. Right, over to New Zealand now, and the Crossroads Winery. This is a Hawke's Bay Chardonnay 2008. And weighs in at 14.5% alcohol. Not a shy wine. So let's see whether that is too alcoholic for a Chardonnay. Well, what they've done here, compared with the one before, I think they have done that little. The oak is better handled here. There's a creamy, buttery edge here, and it's not sort of over the top, really rancid butter or anything like that. It's a complete, more complex side as opposed to the slightly clunky, sawdusty approach that I found in the Marquis de Putte. It smells like it's going to be rich, voluptuous, quite mouth-filling, but it's not one of those over-the-top fruit bombs. It's got all these other things, cashews, it's got cream, it's got some slightly yeasty, mealy edges too. Nice wine, actually. I would like to have seen it picked slightly earlier, because if I have a problem with it, it's just ever so slightly too rich. But what I like is how they've underplayed the fruit. There is life beyond the fruit there, and but the finish, I'm just left with that slight hint of butterscotch sweetness, and I'd have preferred it maybe half a degree, maybe even 1 degree lower in alcohol. But my favourite so far, by quite a way, I think. Final one. Botham Merrill Willis 2007 McLaren Vale stroke Coonawarra Chardonnay. Botham and Willis, famous English cricketers. If you're not into cricket, then you should be. Jeff Merrill, famous McLaren Vale winemaker. And I think he used to be the winemaker at one of those big companies like Hardy's. But he's famous for his big wines and his big moustache. And they've been making these wines together for quite a long time now. I think since the 1980s. Well, 25th anniversary. And I did the red in a video a month or so ago, and I wasn't so keen on it then. So let's see what this is like. I mean, the money here is going for a good cause. Ian Botham does these marathon walks around England. I think he's in the middle of one at the moment, sort of Land's End to John O'Groats. And so they're raising money for a leukemia charity. Well, it smells okay. It's got this slightly oily tinned pineapple chunk character to it. It's not. It's not as full in flavour as the Crossroads was. It feels simpler. Oily, simpler, honest, but not great. And there's like a mealy, creamy honeysuckle edge to it too. Not to it too. To it too. It's okay. The flavours I'm left with are ever so slightly confected. That tropical fruit cocktail. So Crossroads is my pick of those. But reasonable set of wines. I'll see if I can do better in the next video. I'm sure I will be able to. See you soon.